This is the story my grandmother told me. It happened when she was just 12 years old. Pause. That year, there was a great drought. The crops withered, and hunger drove her family away from their hometown. With what little money remained, my great-grandfather rented an old yard in the northeast. It's not much, he said, but it's better than starving. The family cleaned up the place and finally settled down. Grandma lived with her two sisters in the west house. The eldest was 14. The youngest, only 6. Inside that house was a small, dusty room. During the day, it seemed ordinary, just clutter and broken furniture. But at night, pause, things were different. Grandma slept on the edge of the bed, and each night she felt something disturb her. One night, she heard it clearly, the cry of a woman, soft and sorrowful, coming from that small room. The door creaked open, and from the shadows stepped 2 young women. Their faces were pale, their clothes old and tattered, and their feet were bound. They smiled as they tiptoed toward the bed. Terrified, Grandma shut her eyes, pretending to sleep. She felt them standing beside her, whispering, "Look at this little girl. So cute. Get up and play with us." When Grandma dared to peek, her blood froze. The women had turned into skeletons. She buried herself under the quilt, trembling until dawn. The next morning, she begged her sisters to believe her. But when they opened the room, there was nothing. Just dust and clutter. Even my great-grandfather dismissed it. "No food in the house, and you're worried about ghosts?" he scolded. Pause for suspense. But that afternoon, as rain began to fall, the family returned home from the fields. Through the locked door, they heard laughter. The youngest sister was inside, laughing, playing, talking. When they finally opened the door, she stood alone. "Who were you playing with?" they asked. "The 2 aunties," she answered innocently. From that day on, the little sister often spoke of the 2 aunties who played with her, who gave her delicious food. Grandma begged the elders not to leave her sister alone, but they wouldn't listen. Then came the day that would change everything. The youngest sister was locked inside again while the family went to work. When they returned, pause, she was gone. Vanished without a trace. Years passed. The family struggled, worked hard, and eventually bought the house outright. When workers came to renovate, they discovered something buried beneath the foundation, a coffin. Inside were 3 bodies. 2 women in old clothing, their feet bound. And between them, a small child. The hairstyle, the clothes. It was the youngest sister. How she ended up in that coffin, no one ever knew.